5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Getting Real with Rael podcast, where we get raw, real, and brutally transparent so you can be the best version of you. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. Now, let's kick it off with your host, Rael Andrews, a.k.a. Coach.
Five, four, three, two, one, boom. What's up, champions? Coach Rael here, Getting Real with Rael, where we get raw, real, authentic, and brutally transparent so that we can help you to be the best version of yourself. To all my young or my old or my middle-aged single moms out there, I fight for you so that you can find your God-given potential and be what you were called to do. And I got you. Why do I got you? Because God's got me. I am a God-driven success coach and an action coach. And I'm excited about our guest today. And I'm just seeing, and I'm not sure how, there's another person here. And I don't know how to, real quick, champions, I can see that there is another person here and I cannot get to their box. Oh, there we go, to let them in. There we go. All right. Hey, welcome, Anita. And I'm just going to mute you on the front end. We're glad you're here. So I'm excited because if I'm not mistaken, Tabyana, I think this might be definitely your first podcast since being on the show, right? Yeah?
Yes, it is.
All right. So now we're going to hear more about this in a second, but if you're watching, yes. And by the time you see this, it'll be official. But right now, it's not official, but you're going to hear some great stuff. But when you do see this, you will now know that Tabyana is my new daughter on the show. She is the new Trina, and we're excited. How are you, champion?
I'm great. I'm really, really good. I'm very excited about everything. I'm just happy and grateful to be put in this position. And I'm ready to, expose myself to the world.
Awesome. Well, you're going to do that right now on this podcast because that's what we do. So with that said, before we get to all the good I'm like, I don't know why I'm kind of like, I'm out of my, I'm just excited. I'm kind of like I don't know. I'm a little awkward right now. I'm usually in control, but for some reason you're flustering me, which is interesting.
I'm sorry.
It's crazy. But anyways, what we're going to do, we're going to jump back, right? And I want you to take us, Tabyana, to like the 5-year-old Tabyana. I always use the age 5 because that's kind of really a transitional time in anybody's life where we're molded.
Yeah.
And what was it like growing up as the 5-year-old Tabyana? Did you have a good childhood, a bad childhood? Did you have a lot of brothers and sisters? Did you grow up on the good side of the track, the bad side of the tracks? Tell us about what it was like and bring us up to speed to how you got to where you are now.
Well, 5 years old, life, I was the youngest of 6. Most of my siblings are older than me. My oldest sister is 40. And then I'm obviously the youngest, being 20, and then everybody in between is in their 30s and late 20s. So I grew up kind of like, I would say like an only child because most of my siblings were like either off in college or doing their own thing. And it was just mostly my mom and my dad and I. And at the time, I wasn't necessarily getting into a lot of acting. I was mostly just, focusing on being a 5-year-old. And, I remember enjoying my time and always wanting to dress up and do my own thing. And I thought I was very grown-up-ish when I was 5. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to think back at it because I don't remember everything, but I know I just, I grew up in a good part of town in San Antonio, Texas, and I had a very good upbringing and a very well-educated mother who taught me a lot of stuff and always was, very protective and stuff like that. So that's what I can remember at 5.
Yeah, and correct me because you got a big family, which is awesome. So you are how old right now?
I'm 20.
20. Okay. Wow. That's awesome. So, because I remember for me, Tabyana, because, I get that question all the time. And as a kid, my mom was a single mom, had an amazing stepfather. My dad left me when I was 3. And they, at the time, we grew up on the other side of the tracks. I ran barefoot till I was in grade 7. I graduated from a class of 1,200 and I was the only African American, but as a kid, like when I look back at it in retrospect, I had an amazing childhood. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Kids were just mean. I didn't know what racism was. I
Yeah.
didn't know what I just thought kids were mean in general. But when I look back as an adult now, I have a whole nother respect for my mother. I have a whole other respect because I realized wow, do you find that now, like you're still a little young, but do you look back now and do you see your childhood a little different than it was as you saw it as a kid when you were in it?
I mean, I think now I just understand more. At the time, a lot of stuff was happening. I do somewhat remember being the only black kid or the black family in the neighborhood and in the school and stuff like that. And uh, I experienced my first set of racism when I was 5, actually. And I didn't obviously acknowledge that or know that when I was younger, until I got older and I realized, that is a thing that happened to me. And I experienced it actually a lot growing up, and I just didn't even know. You
Mm-hmm.
know, a best friend of mine that was close to me. She told me she didn't want to be my friend anymore because I was black. And
Wow.
I didn't know that was really necessarily a thing. I didn't take it necessarily to heart. Is what I'm trying to say. Is I didn't know that was a bad thing until I grew up. Until I started looking at my surroundings and understanding that that's something that shouldn't be said, especially at such a young age. And um, it definitely crossed over into my older age and how I perceive the world a little bit. It took me a long time to kind of, you know, find compassion over some of those things and some of those issues.
Mm. You've and I've met your mom. It's crazy how we met. We're gonna, and to you, those of you watching, right? Because I say I'm a God-driven action coach. It's crazy. I'll tell you a quick funny story. When me and Tabyana first met, and I met her mother, I was on the set that day, and I was shooting when they were screen testing for the new Trina. And as I was finished, and as I was leaving, I walked past almost every single actress on my way out of the studio. And the last person I walked past was Taviana. And I literally, you remember mom? I see mom nodding her. I literally walked right by her, and it was like God said, stop and take a selfie with her. Literally. And I literally backed
Yeah.
up, and I said, hey, and we talked a little. I said, let me take a picture of you just in case you're the one that gets it. And then the first day she came up and she goes, you remember me? And she was like, it was like, it's just kind of a crazy thing. But, I've seen your mom. I've met your mom. Your mom is here. You did mention your mom and dad were very influential in your life, but is your dad still in your picture now?
Um, no, he's not. Which no. So I think it's been mostly really been me and my mom. And my dad has been in and out, and he tried to do what he could. And but no, he's not. It's just me and my mom and my siblings, and
Mm,
my siblings and my mom have been the one that's been supporting me the most, and obviously, my aunts and their friends and whatever. But Morgan and my mom have been the ones that have been ride and dying for me since the beginning of the start of my career. Morgan and my mom were the ones that were at the auditions, were the ones helping me practice, were the ones, helping me study, helping me, get back and forth to places, So um, they're like my parents, and,
hmm
they're my mom and my dad.
Wow. And that was, so when did your dad leave you? At what age about? Did he step out of the picture?
I mean, there was multiple times. It wasn't
Okay.
like a one-time scenario. It was literally back and forth.
Mm,
Um, and my mom just wanted a family, and she's very God driven, and she's all about being honest and being, grounded, and speaking in her truth and standing in what's right. And she felt that she she wanted her family, and she wanted to make sure that everyone was okay in this situation that we were dealing with at the time. But I guess it officially ended when COVID hit, actually.
Mm.
And he just kind of did his thing, you know.
Wow. Yeah, I know it's always interesting to me, and I'm so proud of you, and I'm so excited to hear from your mom. Like I said, I've never done a podcast like this, and I'm glad you were obedient to the voice in your head and said, "Hey, can I do this?" Because this is going to be really cool. I'm looking forward to hearing from the different people on here. But I mean, I'm 59, Tabyana,
Mm-hmm.
and I literally like just in the last 3 days. I've truly figured out what my calling is. Like when we talk about who are we called, what is our voice, who are we here to help, and that was the first time ever that I just said it. That's why it was really bad, and I stumbled and made a lot of mistakes when I was talking about single moms, and because that was the first attempt. It'll get better at time, but because I
Yeah.
literally just figured that out, and I can tell you that, and it's fresh. I get emotional about it because, even though my dad left me at 3, I had an amazing stepdad, okay, that was always there. But, for whatever reason, I blamed my mom for my dad not being in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, I was very angry at my mom. And sorry, I never gave it the credit. I always said that my dad was my hero, and that he was the one that I was the reason I was successful.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, my mom's not here anymore. So
I'm
she never
sorry.
got to hear me say, thank you, Mom. Because she, like you, and in most people's life, nothing against dads, but even dads that are really present, the mom is the driving force,
For sure.
and I owe all my success to my mom. So I'm grateful that you've been able to figure that out early. And I
Mm-hmm.
know your mom certainly appreciates that, because it's just an awesome gift that you're able to have and you're able to share with your mom and your sister at this early age in time.
Yeah.
What would you say, Taliana, as if you can remember, like yesterday we were talking a little bit, and you had actually said, because correct me if I'm wrong, you actually were in the original casting for Trina.
Yeah, yeah.
And you went up against. Tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah, so it was probably when I was about 16 years old, and I came down. I think it was the producer session, and it was
Hmm.
between me and Sydney and like some other girl as well. And I met Sydney for the first time there, actually, and we didn't know each other prior to that. And then she ended up, well, once we did the producer session, literally probably like a few hours after that, we went to a party, and I saw her there, and I saw one other person that was also in General Hospital, but I forgot his name. Um, and we were like, oh my gosh, hi, it's so good to see you. Like, I can't believe it. Like, good luck, da da da, talking and stuff like that, and saying all that. She ends up getting it, which is like amazing and great. And honestly, I was just telling my mom the other day, I'm so glad she did get it. I'm glad she, I'm glad she was the one who got it, and I'm glad she was the one who set everything up. I think she was a great foundation to Trina, and or yeah, to Trina.
Hmm.
And I think if it wasn't for her, I really don't think I'd have the opportunity right now, and I also have to give myself some credit too. But I really appreciate her getting the part and setting the foundation and getting Trina as far as she did. And I think it's so ironic now that we've come full circle 3 years later, 20 years old, and I'm the one that's getting it, and I'm the one that's now starting to to finish Trina off and stuff. Um, and I
Not
think
finish her
it's
off, to
or
continue her.
continue her.
Don't kill
Yeah.
yourself before you even started.
Yeah.
Why are you already like, I'm fitting right? What? Do you know something I don't know? What's going on?
No, to continue her off. That's a better choice of word. To continue her off.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm so happy to continue. And I just, I find it so just ironic the way everything's set up is not normal. Like, I really don't think it's that normal, because when I got this audition, I was like, oh, great, cool, I'm gonna get it. Like I was very excited. I was like, at least I'm gonna get a call back or something, right?
Right.
And I didn't hear back for like maybe a month. And
Wow.
then I had someone said something in my head, they're like, General Hospital. And I'm like, oh yeah, I auditioned for General Hospital and I haven't heard anything back. I guess it didn't go through. Literally like 10 minutes later, my mom calls me. She's like, you got a producer session with General Hospital. And I'm like, that's so funny, because I was just thinking about it. And then also, this entire time that I've been back in San Antonio, I was like, I don't want to go back to LA. I really don't. I don't. It's not a place I want to be back. But then I was like, I think it'd be nice to go back to LA for work and stuff like that. And I think, for the stuff that I want to do, I have to be in LA. And I was just starting to get comfortable with the idea of going back. And then all of a sudden they're like, you have to go back to LA, you have to do this. And I was like, this is so crazy. It's not, it didn't, it felt like the timing was just so perfect. It was just so, just, just on time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so
Now
I
let
was,
no no Tabyana, because you were saying just last, like you were like literally, I think you said last year, like you were like almost done, right? Like you were
yeah,
like
I gave,
saying you were giving it up almost, right?
not almost, I did. Like, I was like, I'm done. I'm tired of this. My managers dropped me. I was having some family issues. I was having some relationship issues. I was some me issues. Everything was just felt like it was not going the way it needed to be going. And I was so sick of it. I felt like, if I'm being honest, being Black made it hard. I didn't know if I could do it because I am Black, and being kind of darker too. I was like, the chances of me, being a face of something might be slim to none. But
Hmm.
also, I'm in a position now where, sounds weird, but being Black is in. And more people want Black women, even when it came to my writing, because I'm also a writer too. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people wanted Black female writers to get the Black side, or to get the perspective of a Black woman's side, or perspective. Um, and so I was like, well, maybe that's a sign within itself. I don't know, but I was so ready to just throw my hands up and leave. And I remember texting my mom, and I was telling her, like, I'm so sorry. I know we're not a quitter type of family, because we drive, we fight, and we do everything fast, and my family is not, when it comes to the women, we're not slow in nothing. We don't give up, and we'll fight till we can't fight no more. And literally, my mother, you saw her with a broken leg, still driving me everywhere, still trying to get me to point A to point Z. And she needs help, but she's a fighter. So I was telling her, like, I'm sorry, I know we don't quit, but I gotta quit this. I'm tired. I'm so tired of doing this. At that point, it was 12 years, and I was like, I'm not getting to the place where I feel like I need to be. And I feel like it might just be easier just to give this up. But something, I had an incident, and someone was telling me that I can't quit because something good is about to happen. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Whatever. Like, I don't care. Like, something's good about to happen. Okay. And then a month later, I booked my first movie. And then the
Mm.
month after that, I booked my first play, or for that year, because I've done like few plays. And then a couple of months after that, I booked another movie. And then this month, I booked General Hospital. Or last month,
Wow.
I booked General
Wow.
Hospital.
It's
So
such an
it,
amazing, isn't it amazing? It's like it's all about timing. I want to just jump real quick because, Mom, I'm gonna unmute you first. And there's a couple more. I don't know what is going on. I cannot pull my computer screen down. There's a couple other people here, and I cannot get to the button to add them in them. But I'm gonna unmute Mom for a second. Mom, are you there?
Yes,
Yeah. So, what's going on in your head? I mean, what's going to talk from your heart? Let's start there. What's going on?
I'm excited and I'm happy and thrilled for Tabiana to have this opportunity for this new journey in her life. This turning point, this coming of age type of a feeling that's going on for her, for us as a family, starting this whole new life, you know. And so it's like a blessing to be a part of something so great and to see her so in her element where she belongs. And, I'm just thrilled. I'm thrilled.
What was going through when Tabiana came to you last year and said, that's it, Mom, I'm done? What was, as a mother and somebody who has dedicated her whole life to your daughter's dreams and success, what was going through your mind at that moment?
Well, I was thinking that she was having a hard time, but we had been out here working and grinding, networking, training, and I thought like, it's her right to give this up if she wants to, and I just did what I did because I'm her mother, and that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be here to support her, but at the same time to encourage her, as well. And so my mind was like, I think if I just let you quit, and you're quitting maybe out of haste or circumstances, you might not like me. You may not like me either way. If I tell you you have to stay in this, it may make you, hard and bitter because I'm telling you to, and you may take my motives, the wrong way. Like if it's something in it for me, then for you, and then, but I basically told her that, to think about it, you know, don't be so hasty. It's, things are circumstantial, and that, things, God is still on his throne, and he's still with us. And, just pray and ask him. And if you come to the same conclusion, then okay. But otherwise, I think you're just making a hasty move, and a hasty decision. And, you need to pray on it first and see what God has
Mm.
to say. And then after that, and after he answers you, then whatever his will is, let it be done.
Amen. And I finally figured out how to add the other people. So, Mom, I remember, and I'm
Hmm.
going to come to you next, Tabiana, and then I want to go to Morgan. I know she's doing hair, but that's okay. We keep it real over here. I remember exactly where I was, when I got that call. Do you remember, Mom, where you were, and like what did you do when you got the call and they said she got the part?
Yes, I know exactly. We were laying in bed. Tabby is 20 years old and she still comes and sleeps with me. And we had just got I had just got a new sleep number bed. And so she wanted to
What?
test out the other side, you know? And so we were there, laying in bed, and, she was half up and I was half down because, it's that split thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And the agent called and said, Sloan and Karen, her manager, and they were like, hey. And so when the two of them called together, I'm like, okay, either it's going to be something really, really good or something really, really bad, So I'm going to err on the side of good because I had already met you and you said, let's take a picture because something is telling me. And I had told Tabiana, I had walked down the hallway to go to the restroom, and I'm kind of waving at all the young ladies there. Look back, saw you coming, and I saw you just pass up everybody, and you came straight to her. So I'm like, well, he goes, let's take a picture. You're going to be my daughter. I just got this feeling. How did you do? And so with that in mind, I'm going, okay, these two ladies got to be calling me for something good. And they said, is Tabiana there? And then I go, yeah, she's laying right here next to me. Tabby comes from under the covers and, you know, playing with the buttons on her sleep number. And she's all, oh, you know. And I've been down with it. And they tell her. And then I think I maybe screamed louder than her because I was like thanking God, like, yes, yes, finally, for her something, because she's just been blessed all year. It's like God is really on her side. things are in God's timing. You know, she had just did the movie. We're in New York for Empire Waste, and we're so grateful and, you know, just elated about that opportunity. And then they called her for, right before that, for the play that she did that went into the film fest. And, you know, it was just like mind blowing. And then the movie before that, for the horror movie, I don't look at horror, so I can't even tell you the name.
Mhm.
And but it was all a blessing, and we're just, you know, and she's just like, she was calm first, you know, she's like, I did, you know, just this little soft voice, you know, and then she got up and did the happy dance, you know, and so
You
it was
did.
great.
Let's see that happy dance you did. Let me see, Tabyana.
I
Give
don't
us
even
the happy
remember. I
dance.
probably just did this. Something like that.
Oh my gosh. So then I'm guessing, so Mom, Tabyana, so who did you call first? Did you call Morgan next? Is that who you called first? Who did you call first?
I think I gotta think about it. I
It's
don't know.
either we call Morgan or we
I
call
think,
Auntie Nita, because it's gonna
yeah,
be those two.
I
We
think
probably
mother
did
might.
it simultaneously,
Yeah, I think I called Morgan. Mother
and
called
Auntie Nita.
Auntie
Oh,
Nita, and so yeah, I think those were the first two people that we separately called on ourselves for ourselves and stuff like that.
Yeah,
well, so we got both of them here. So Auntie Nita, I'm going to unmute you real quick. So how are you? Can you hear me, Auntie Nita? Wait, it won't let me unmute your mic. Wait a sec. Hold on. Cannot unmute guests because okay. So are you able to unmute yourself, Anita, or no? It won't let me unmute you. There
How
you
about
go.
now?
There you go.
Okay.
So you get this call. Tell us what was going on. What happened? What, did you do the happy dance too? What happened?
Well, first, I guess when Jackie returned from LA from I don't know, Jackie, was it the producer's audition or something?
the
When
screening.
you came back, the screening, and she told me, she said, well, after it was all over, she talked about you coming out and speaking with Tabby and then kind of referring to Tabby as the daughter. She says, neat. I think she got it. And I said, well, Jackie, if he said that, I think she got it too. It sounds like she got it to me too. So, but of course, when she called and told me, I was like, oh my God, she got it. She did this thing. And I'm like, you know what? It's her time. Is she so deserving of it? You know, you guys have worked so hard. You've been so diligent. You know, I just couldn't think of a person more that deserved it any more than Tabby. So I'm just so excited for her. You know, I thank God for this opportunity for her. And, you know, we're just so proud of her. She just lights us up. We're just proud, just happy for her.
Oh man, I love that. Okay, I want to go to one more, and then I'm going to jump back to Tabyana for a second. I am going to come to Chloe because she's here, and that's her friend. So I've never had an opportunity to get some dirt from the friends. So we're going to get into that in a sec. So Morgan, can I unmute you for a sec? Where are you? Oh, there you are. Hey.
Hey,
Huh.
we're here. Hi, how are you?
So Morgan, you got the call there. You're a very important part of this journey, as Tabyana said. It sounds like you're the father figure, as she put it, in this journey fighting for her. So what was it like when you got that call?
So I would say yes,
It's okay. It's all good.
when I got the call, Tabby has been through so much. She has been through. Okay, so this might be hard for me. I'm glad it's not.
That's okay. We keep it real. What's her name?
This is Caleb.
Hey, Caleb. How are you?
And we have Cameron here.
Hey,
These are
Cameron.
nieces and nephew
Okay.
of Tabby. But yeah, when I got that call, Tabby has just worked so hard. She had so many opportunities that have been given to her, but there has been some disappointments to where, she thought the part was hers. She's been told that something was promising and then it being taken away from her. So I didn't want to, get too excited. I had some reservations at first and I was like, well, is this a for sure thing? I remember I told my mom, I was like, let's wait and see and make sure it's official. Like, is it official, because I didn't want to, have her go through the disappointment again. because she's been so close so many times, and then, it being taken away from her. And I know this was huge. I mean, she needed this turning point. So then once we found out that it was official, I remember I called Tabby and I just said, Tabby. And she was like, yes. And I was like, you did it! And we just started screaming. And I was like, oh my gosh! She was like screaming too. And she was like, I did it! And we all were screaming. And my kids were screaming. So it was just such a monumental moment that I will never forget. Like, it was such a good feeling because she has worked so hard, and okay, baby. And like how she's saying, like with my mom, it was really hard for me when she was going through that point of, feeling like she was at the bottom of all of this, and as an older sister, that was really hard for me to see, and I did not want her to hurt anymore. So when she was expressing, that she may have been done with this, I listened to her, and I tried to encourage her, but I told my mom, I said, maybe okay, let's listen. Okay, you want Sissy? Okay, let's come over here. I remember I told my mom, I said, maybe she is done. I said, maybe she's had enough. Maybe she needs a break. And, thank God for my mom. My mom just said, you know what? It's a phase, and we're going to pray on it, and we're going to go to God with it, and we're going to keep her encouraged. And, she's destined to do this. And this is where Tabby has worked hard. This is where she needs to be. And thank God for my mom for that. Because if not, I told my mom, I said, we don't want her hurting anymore. This is enough.
Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate you. And hi, champion. All right, I'm going to mute you, Vic. I'm going to jump back to Tabyana for a second. Let me see. Here we go. Thank you. We got that. All right, just so we get okay. So Tabyana, and what I want to tell you, this is so cool having your friends and family here. I can tell you this. I'm excited for you because I've done pretty much every soap opera except Y&R, Bold and Beautiful. I think that's it. I think I've been on every single soap opera. Wow. Okay, and. I played for a couple years on As the World Turns. I played for a year on All My Children, and I was almost maybe half a year on Days of Our Life, and then smaller things. But what I can tell you, being on General Hospital, first and foremost, is the most amazing cast and crew you're ever going to be part of. And I think we're going to talk about that in a sec. But in the past 27 years, I started playing Taggart 27 years ago. And so you haven't aired yet, but I'm just letting you know, get ready. Because from the very first day I aired, I'm not even kidding you. Like, I aired at 3:00 here, as you know, is it 2 or 3 o'clock? 5 o'clock, I'm down here at Vaughn's. And already, oh my God, it's Taggart. Oh my God, Taggart. And still to this day, and I have never once, not once, been recognized on any one of those other soaps.
Wow.
Not once. General Hospital is a whole different vehicle. I mean, it's insane. Like, the support, and I don't like to call them fans. I call them champions. I don't like that word. But the champion base in General Hospital is like none other, right? Then I was sharing with you a little bit the other day, and I love to see you. So how does it make you feel that, and just to set the parameters, because, and most people who watch General Hospital know what I'm talking about. Not that he's the end all of end alls, but I have the highest respect for Maurice, as I do all the cast members. Okay. But me and Maurice are BFFs. He was the best man at my wedding. He was the first man I met. He took me under his wing, and he's helped me so much to grow as an actor. But as I shared with you the other day, he took the time to go out of his way, which he doesn't do all the time, by the way. And he came up, remember, he introduced himself to you. He said hi. Yeah. And then when he walked past you, he had a quiet moment with me. And this is what he said. He said, she's good. She's good. And he said, I'm really glad she's here. She said, she just took you guys to a whole nother level. And I said, I know, isn't she? She said, I'm excited. That's like, well, how do you feel about that?
Emotional. I feel emotional. I think I question myself a lot in my abilities and the things that I do. And I didn't think I necessarily had the most up respect for myself. And it's just recently that I just found that I have a capability and I have a talent that is not just, a blase type of thing. And to know that other people see it too. And to know that it's not just me or just my mother or just my family. It's not just bias, but other people see it as well, strangers. It makes me feel grateful and appreciative of the gift that God has given me. And at the time, I didn't realize what that moment was. But now I think back and I'm like, that was God's way of just showing me that, he has blessed me immensely, that the hard work is not being overlooked. And being on the show is definitely one thing, but it's also, just to have people as well say like, you being on set is, we're glad to have you. And I was telling my mom the other day, like, there are some things I need to work on when I was younger. And I'm glad that now I'm able to just have fun and be creative and do the things that I naturally want to do. And so to hear that, it breaks my heart, but in the most positive way. And it's something that I want to cherish. And I'm just very grateful. And I'm thankful that he did come up to me and tell me that. And I'm grateful that you told me that he did say that afterwards.
Wow. It's God is really amazing, isn't he? I mean, he really is, and it's really important. And as I shared with you on the call the other day, I'm glad that I was obedient because I had no idea your backstory and all that. And, I could have very easily just like kept that to myself or not even made, but, God told me I needed to, like, I literally reached out. I wasn't even, because I get up at 2:30 in the morning. Okay. And I constantly got to remind myself, like I'm running stairs at like 2:30 in the morning and I'm boxing.
Mm-hmm.
I got to remind myself, like, not everybody gets up at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I wasn't even thinking. And here I am calling you at 7 a.m. in the morning. I'm like, oh my God, I'm sorry. Did I wake you up? And you're like, well, maybe just a little bit, And then I was like, yeah, oh shoot, I forgot. I'm sorry. But, it's just, you're part of a real special family here. And we are grateful to have you. Now, I know the GH champions would want to hear, like, take us through your first day on the set. What was that like? Like, from walking in, tell us about it.
Okay, so I was telling everybody, I was like, this is a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Like, I feel like the testing process, the audition process was way harder on my mental than this part. And I think it's because I got it, so I feel secured, But it was pretty simple. Like, it sounds weird for me to be like, it was a pretty normal day. But I think, I walked in there and I was like, okay, so what do I do? I go down to like the stage room and I get my call sheets or my scene sheets and see, what I have to do and when I have to be up and stuff like that. And just going around, just introducing myself to everybody. And, I get my outfit and I get my makeup done. I'm like, this is how I usually do my makeup and this is how I usually do my hair. I'm like, just showing everybody what I typically do. And then I get dressed and we go upstage and I meet Eden. And she was very sweet, very nice. And I think looking at her made it a lot easier because of like, she made like a mistake or something. And to see that she made a mistake was like, okay, so you're not going to get ridiculed if you do make a mistake. You're not going to get, kicked out for making a mistake. It's just you pick up where you left off and you start again. So that just made it immensely easier. And then also, expressing your opinion. Donnell and Brooke, who play Curtis and Portia, looking at them vocalizing their opinion about certain things and like what fits and what doesn't fit. And like, Donnell really rides for, being Black. And he's like, this is somebody that is Black. We're going to show actual Black lives. We're not going to be a stereotypical Black family. This is what Black people do. And this is how we speak. This is how we talk. This is how our home looks. This is how our life looks, and he expresses those things and he wants those things to be shared. Brooke, also dynamite. She's cool. She's sophisticated. She's always like on target with everything. Like I adore working with them, also working with you as well. And how you portray yourself and how much fun you have on set too. And then I also noticed like most of the time, sometimes you don't even have your script in hand. It's like everything is already in your head and you're ready to, just go. And looking at y'all, it makes me feel so much more comfortable. I was telling my mom, again, I feel so comfortable being with you, Donnell and Brooke and Tanisha and all of y'all, because it just makes me feel like, we got each other's back. And it's just easy. So the first day, because just being around y'all, it really was not as difficult as I thought it was going to be. It really was not that. It wasn't as intense. And then I also think because of my family and how fast we work anyway, and how like, okay, we got to do this, we got to do this, we got to do this. It was just easy to, listen to what they had to say and then execute. And I think that's something that I've been kind of good at, is like listening and then executing. So it was a good first day. It was a good first week. Like it was amazing.
It really does as an actor, isn't it? It's and it's special, right? Because it's not always right that we have you have a connection like that. If the connection's not there, as an actor, that's our job. We're going to make it happen, right? But it's a whole nother level when you just like connect and you fit, and then you do have the feeling that everybody's got your back, right up all the way up to Frank, right?
Yeah,
I love
of
Frank,
course.
dude.
Oh,
Frank
yeah.
is like badass, right? I love.
Yes.
He's just like to me he's like this. I just love Frank because he kind of like he knows his shit. He ain't playing no ball, He's like, let's keep it real, right? Because when you're the man running a show, because GH champions, they can be amazing and they can be brutal, some of them, right? But I always, because I keep it real, I like let's keep it real. You love this show, don't you? And they go, yeah, well, give credit where credit's due, because the show probably would not be on the air right now if it wasn't for my man Frank. Let's just keep it real, right? But I love how he just kind of he's not there when he doesn't have to be. And when he wants to be, he's in there, and he's just kind of like this, like a B-4 bomber or whatever you call it. Just kind of come in, doesn't really say anything, but when he says something, it happens, and he's right on, and he listens. Like, you got somebody like Donnell and stuff like that, who I love. I'm having on Donnell on next week. I love that too. I never saw that side of Donnell actually till just the other day. We had a moment where we were sitting down and we were talking, and I was very impressed with him. And I know where you're talking about, and we're going to hear more about that. But it is a cool thing to be part of something like that. And I'm excited about where we're going. So with that said, right, and then we're going to switch gears a little bit, and I'm going to land this plane and respect you guys' time, but I do have a few cool things we end with. What can you tell the GH champions to expect? What? Because I know they want to know. What are you excited about? What's Tabyana going to bring to my daughter's role? What are you bringing to the show? What can we expect?
Well, be expecting a bit of an older Trina. And, I'm trying to play her where it's like you still see her innocence and you still see that she's young and trying to figure out the world. But at the same time, she's solid. Like she's not taking any mess from anybody. And she's trying to figure her new self out, because she's coming out of I think she's coming out of a stage of, of, respecting, or she's coming out of a stage of, trying to help other people. And she's going to still help other people, but now she's going to try to also respect herself, her needs, and what comes first to her. And it's like, yeah, I want to help everybody, but at the same time, I can't help everybody unless I help myself first, you know? Um,
That's all. Now, I know, now I'm not going to trick you, but I'm going to say it. So don't answer, right? Because you
okay.
probably know that, right? But I'm sure they all want to know, are you really Tiger's daughter? Are you not? Well, you're going to have to stay tuned to find out, right? We're not going to tell you that. But we're going to go into 5 things you didn't know. So my champions, Chloe, Karen, Anita, Jacqueline, Morgan, if you're available, I'm going to come to you at the end. So you're going to have some time. And I want you to think about one thing that we don't know about Tabyana, and you're going to share that with us. But so I have something called 5 things we didn't know. It's actually 7 things. So I don't know why I call it 5 things, because I'm going to actually ask you 7 questions, and then we're going to have more. So it's the weirdest thing. Don't even ask me, right? So the first thing is rapid fire questions. So who's your favorite superhero? Now, it could be one of the Avengers, or it doesn't have to be. It could be God. It could be anything. Who's your superhero?
Catwoman.
Catwoman. Awesome. You get to be a superhero now. You have a superpower. What would that superpower be, and how would you use it to change the world?
I wish I had the ability to control like the weather and just plants. I would try to garden. I would like put plants everywhere. I'd put flowers everywhere. I'd try to like build trees or grow trees and stuff like that, and just put flowers everywhere. I would control the weather or something.
Awesome. I love it. Who's your biggest mentor at this
My
point in your life?
my mother.
Awesome. Favorite book?
Favorite book. A dear Mary Jane. It's a diary. No, it's a true diary of Mary Jane. Something like that.
Wow, that's awesome. I haven't even heard that one. Now,
Yeah.
you're still young, so this is kind of weird to ask you this, but so we're going back to 5 years old now. And sometimes people say, I didn't read as a kid, but if you read as a kid, what was your favorite book as a kid? Like, for example, mine was anything really with big pictures, Richie Rich, The Curious George, The Little Train That Could. Did you have a favorite book as a kid that you read?
I think it was shoot. It was I can't even remember the name, but it was the girl that changes colors or something like that. And she had some type of condition. Every morning she'd wake up and she'd be a new color.
Wow, I haven't even heard of that one. Maybe Mom will know what that is. All right, so next, okay, yes. So going back as far as you can, what was your favorite gift that you got? Who gave it to you, and why was it your favorite gift?
So my favorite gift that I got was this DSi. It was a DS. And I got it when I was around 7 years old. I got it for Christmas. Santa at the time gave it to me, but now I know it was my parents. And it was my favorite gift because I was the only one in my class that didn't have like a DS. And all the kids would like link together and like play DS games and whatnot. And I was like, I'm the one left out. But then I got my DS and I arrived up to school and I was like, y'all want to play some games? Y'all want to play some Mario Kart? And
Mario? Did you say Mario?
Yes, Mario was my stuff. I loved it, like straight up all the time. I still love it. I got a Switch, and I'm buying like a whole bunch of Switch games now, so I can like play it all the time.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. All right, so I'm gonna go to Chloe first. So one thing we don't know, share with us one thing, Chloe, that we don't know about the amazing Tabyana.
Awesome. Happy to. So I'm Chloe. I'm Morgan's best friend, and I've known Tabby since she was born. Morgan and I literally hopped the fence to go see her in the hospital and skip school. And I've also always known Tabby was going to be a star. I like to joke that I discovered her because at Morgan's graduation dinner, she was walking around all the tables and she was singing the song, right? And it had a great melody. You could tell that, it sounded good, but she didn't have any words. Like, it was just humming, right? And so I told Miss Jackie and Morgan, I'm like, there's something there. Like, she's got it. We just got to find her some words, right? So she can put this song together. together. But also one thing that people may not know about Tabby, I remember being at their house when she was a little baby, and her cry, it wasn't a cry, it was a scream. She would scream at the top of her lungs, and I'm looking around like, is she okay? Like, and everybody was just acting normal, like, that's just her crying. And I had never heard anything like that until I had my second kid, and he had the same exact scream. And I was like, oh, well, he's normal. It's just like Tabby. So that's one thing people may not know.
Well, okay, I'll be waiting for that scream. When it happens on the set, I will know. Thank you so much for being here, Chloe. I look forward to meeting you one day, and thanks for sharing that. I'm going to jump over to now. I see Karen. Now, before I bring Karen on, Tabyana, tell us, who is Karen in your life?
So Miss Karen started off as a great friend of my mother's and turned into a great manager. Miss Karen is a beast.
Oh, she's your manager.
Yes, Miss Karen. I'm so glad that I'm with Miss Karen now. I'm like brought me up to a different level. So Miss Karen is my manager.
Oh, I love that. I might have to talk to her on another thing. I'm in the search of a manager as well. But I have to say, and I know Karen will love this, because there's a manager that's not here that I'm sure they wish they were, because you talked about they didn't believe in you and they gave up on you, right? Well, now, yeah. So Karen, tell us, we're grateful for you being here, Karen. Tell us something that we don't know about Tabyana. Oh, wait, hold on. I don't hear you. One sec, champ. I got to unmute you. Hold on. Let me see. No, it doesn't say you're muted, but I don't hear you. No, we don't hear nothing. No, you're not muted either, so I'm not sure what's going on there.
Did you allow access to press the mic?
Yep. It says she can press it. It's showing that she's not muted. Karen, you want to do this? Why don't you try going out and coming back in? I'll go to the others because I want to hear from you. Maybe something's going on because we're not able to hear you right now the second. So Chloe had to jump. So I'm going to let's go over to Anita while we're seeing if we can seeing if Karen can come in. Tell us one thing we don't know about Tabyana. Are you there, Anita?
I'm sorry.
There you go.
Here.
Yeah.
The thing that I think Tabyana will bring to the show is she has the ability to bring that element of surprise. So I think as she journeys through this character as Trina and people think they know her, I think she will just surprise them.
So she's good. I like that because Tabyana already knows I'm a little bit of a jokester.
Okay.
And she is on my radar. She saw what I did to Maurice, and I got some plans for you, Tabyana. So you're going to be watching over your shoulder. Let's just thank you for that, Anita. Karen, are you able to, let's see if we got you yet. I don't know what's going on there. I want to hear from you. That's kind of weird. It's showing that no, we don't hear you yet. We're going to keep trying, though. We're not going to give up, right? Because like Tabyana says, we fight. Go ahead. What you saying? Maybe. Are you on your computer, Karen? You're on your phone? Yeah, we don't hear. Maybe try phone in. I don't know. Maybe try phone in Tabyana, and maybe we can hear it that way or something. That can come through Tabyana's phone or something like that.
Well, we on my phone, so
yeah, you're on. You're also you're on. Oh, that's a pretty. Is that a 13? Because it looks good.
No, it's 11. I just have it.
Okay. Well, man, I think 13 might be calling your name with that triple thing coming out, a little bonus present. Huh? I don't know. We're saying.
Maybe so.
All right, let me see who else is on here. Oh, Morgan's on here still. Let's get to Morgan. I'm going to add her to the stream. Okay. So Morgan, tell us one thing we don't know about Tabyana. Wait, hold on. I got to unmute you, champ. Hold on. Unmute. No. Oh, you got to unmute yourself, Morgan, because it's not giving me permission to do that. So go ahead and unmute yourself. Hit that little unmute there.
Can you hear me?
There you go. Yep, we got you now.
Good. Okay, so we're talking Tabby. One thing we don't know about Tabby.
Yes.
Tabby is a big animal lover. She loves animals and has so much compassion for animals. It was so funny because during the Christmas break, she was visiting, and my mother, which are my kids' Nana, they call her Nana, she stepped on a bug, and they were so devastated. And my mom was so worried that they were going to tell Tabby. She didn't want Tabby to find out because she knows that that would just bring so much emotion to Tabby, because she is such an animal lover, and she would do everything that she could to save that animal's life, whether it be an ant, you know, or whatever it may be. But yeah, she has so much love and compassion for animals, just as much as she does for people.
Wait a
Oh
minute.
my
Y'all squished an
gosh.
ant and y'all really refused to tell me?
Oh, see, look, she's getting upset now. Well, we're going to
No,
hear
I'm
about it.
just, I'm so confused. Y'all did. I mean, I do be fighting. I do be fighting for insects. I'm like, don't kill it. It ain't done nothing to you.
I know, and that's why we kept it from you.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Do you have some fur babies? Like I got a dog, like Diamond, and it's my dog. Oh,
Listen,
what?
oh my God, I'm trying to convince my mother. Maybe you gotta help me. But I had a dog. His name was Peanut. I had a cat named Jello. I had another cat named Peekaboo, and then I had another dog named Almond. But I, and then I also rescued some dogs too. But I had a whole bunch of animals when I was younger. They're all gone. They've passed away. But
Mm.
I'm trying to convince my mother that I should get, like, I want to adopt another animal. Also, adopt, don't shop. That's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
important.
Amen.
Um,
Amen. So many. Yes, thank you for
adopt.
saying that.
But yeah, I want to adopt another animal. I don't know if I would get a dog. I also want a dragon, like a bearded dragon.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
I think that would be cool to have a bearded dragon.
We are so much alike, Taviana. Listen, I got to tell you, I got a big aquarium down there that's getting ready for a bearded dragon. I've adopted so many dogs. Right now we have Diamond. She's amazing. We rescued her. We were going to call her Compton because she came
Oh,
from Compton. People were burning her with cigarettes and beating her with a stick. Oh
oh
man,
my
no.
gosh,
And she's
no.
amazing. Then we got this cat. But there, at one time, I'll show you the picture next time I see you. At one time, I'm in bed with my wife. We got a California King because
Mhm.
we had to get the biggest bed we could because there was me, my wife, there was a Rottweiler, a German Shepherd, 3 pit bulls, 2 Voss-Marie parrots, and we all slept in the bed together.
Oh my
So
gosh.
so there was a lot
Oh
of
my
pet
gosh.
blocking going on. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
I wasn't getting much action back then, right? I was getting a lot of action with my animals, but not much action.
Wait a
But
minute.
yeah. But it was all good. All right. So
Wow.
listen, Karen was kind enough because she's having some. Oh, let me see if I can add her right again. Oh, I think we can hear you. Are you there, Karen?
I'm here. Can you hear me now? Oh yeah, you know what? I
Yay!
turned it off and turned it back on.
All right, we can hear you now, champion. So
Okay, well,
please
I know
tell us.
everybody here knows her longer than I have, but you know, there are things that Tabby she won't brag about herself, but she's an amazing singer. Um, she dances when she goes to Jamba Juice. Let's see, doesn't want to be tall,
I don't.
and she's just always smiling. She's got the best smile, right? She's so sweet. I've never seen her lose her temper or yell at anybody. And one thing that I do know that she gets very indecisive when it comes to ordering. Takes her a while, and then she might order a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So she'll
Yeah.
get like 1 egg, like 1 thing of fruit. She's a pescatarian vegetarian, so you might not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. Now,
And yeah.
now tell us, Karen. I'm curious, real quick. So, because how did you get to be? How did God put you guys together? How did you guys find each other?
Actually, we all lived in the same apartment complex, and a friend had us over, and I met Jacqueline. And I don't know, I'm pretty friendly, I think, right, Jackie?
I think so.
And I just like to be around people, like to get, and we just became friends. You know, that's how do you become friends? Someone put you together for a reason, and we had a reason. I love her to pieces. I love Tabby. You know, there's just we take care of each other,
I
honestly.
love that. I love that.
And
And as your manager, right? I mean, you don't, as much as you love her and your friends and all of that, I mean, this is your business. This is what you do. And, you have a stable and you can only have so much room for so many people. So what do you see in Tabyana? What do you see as the 50,000-foot view for her? Where do you see you and Jacqueline and Morgan and the team and God taking her down the road? What do you see her career
I
doing?
honestly will tell anybody who I represent, or my son's an actor as well. I think you will go as far as you see yourself going. I never pushed her when she wanted to take a break. I think I know I told her, do what makes you comfortable. If you need to do that, you do that. Don't let anybody beat you up for it. And when the time's right, things will happen and you'll come back. I think that Tabby will go the distance for sure. And I think I like taking things slow in this business. I don't like when things happen too fast. People get frustrated, but I see people take off really fast when they're young, and then there's crickets, and that's a hard thing. But I think Tabby's at a place where she's mature enough to know how to use her gift, use this celebrity that she's been given now. Because I will tell you one thing, I've been watching General Hospital since I was in high school, and I'm probably a little bit older than most of these people on here. And I love Maurice Bernard, and I saw him at Runyon Canyon he has a dog that's the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life, just so you know. So I know all the characters that she's with. And I said, did you meet Sonny? Did you meet Sonny? That was I picked her up the first day that she was there. And she goes, no, I didn't meet him yet. I said, oh, well, he's like, I've been in love with him since I was in high school. Anyway, I think Tabby will do anything that she wants to do. I think that she can do anything that she wants to do. And I think that she's talented. She's smart. She's beautiful, which doesn't hurt. She's a good person. She's good. Like, when people have a goodness in them, it comes forward and it brings them to where they want to go. And I just only see all good things happening for her. And we'll take care of whatever we can too. Right?
I love that. So great to have you on here.
Okay.
So, Mom, you're the last one, and then I got one more question for Tabyana, and we'll wrap it up. So, Mom, you know her better than anybody. So, tell us one thing we don't know about Tabyana.
That Tabyana is my baby. That she's still a baby at heart. She's kind. She's loving. She likes to be close with me and affectionate, whereas other 20-year-olds, they have other agendas, but she's still has this very adult-like mindset. And then beneath all of that surface, she's just a baby. She's my baby. She still loves to, lay with me, conversate with me, watch television, our favorite shows, which will be General Hospital from now on, and, she's still so adult-like, but a very, childlike innocence still. And
Wow.
I love that. And I want to keep that for as long as I can. When she kicks me to the curb, then she kicks me to the curb. But right now, she's my baby, not just because she's mine. She's my baby because she also wants to be.
Oh man, I love that. Well, I can't now see her kicking it. This is going to be kind of a weird question, having all these champions on here. So this is for you, Tabyana. And I got this question from the play. It's a play we do back in anything, but it's like, I don't even really know if I want to ask this question because it's kind of making me feel weird right now, but I'm going to ask it. So God has decided to take you home. and you didn't, oh, I can't even ask this question. You didn't have a chance to say what you wanted to say to your mom, to Anita, to Morgan, to Karen. And you get 1 minute to say what you want to say. What would you say to them?
I think I would say that the fight that we've all been through together was something that I'm taking with me. And without them, I would not be the person I am. And the sacrifices that we've all put into everything we've done, not just my acting, but everything, is something that I feel very, very, very grateful for. I love everybody that's here. I adore everybody that's here. I appreciate everybody that's here. I don't think words can describe it. I would be, if I tried to describe the words that I feel, I'd be lying. Because there's no words. Yeah. And I love you.
Thank you. Thank you. Last question, I promise. So I always like to leave my champions. I'm watching your mom and your agent manager and everybody and me. We're just you're such a beautiful person. You have such a beautiful light about you. I'm excited about your voice. I'm excited about the fact that God has positioned you now that your voice is really going to be heard. And I'm excited to see what you're going to do with that voice. I really am. So starting now, I always like to leave my champions. They know we end with an action step. And in your opinion, you're about to lay down the Tabyana action step that in your opinion, if they put it into action right now, today, not tomorrow, not tonight, not next week, like, oh yeah, that's something cool, I'm going to do it later. If they put this action step into action right now, that in your opinion, their life will start to change in a different positive direction. What's your advice? What would your action step to the champions listening today that have dreams like you have, that have aspirations, that are struggling, that are not believing in themselves yet, that are not thinking they could do it? What would that action step be?
I'd say respect yourself. Listen to yourself, respect yourself. I think a lot of times we work hard, but we work hard for other people. Even in the sense of, you might even work hard for yourself, but it's still a respect thing that you have to give yourself. You're not going to make it anywhere if you don't listen to your feelings as well, if you don't respect the things and the mindset that you have. If you want action, you got to take action. And if you want the things that you want, you got to make sure that you're okay first. There's nothing that's going to really blow off. Like you can most likely make it somewhere, but if you're not caring for yourself, you're not respecting yourself, if you're not loving yourself, if you're not telling yourself every day that you are important to you, that you are important to the world, that there is a reason, there is a reason why you are here. That's the only way that I feel that you can really make it, succeed, and stay on top. I did not have a lot of confidence in myself, and I did not believe in myself to the fullest capacity. I don't even think I really respected myself. It wasn't until I realized that I'm important and that God put me here for a reason that I started getting the things that I wanted, the things that I needed, and pushing things that aren't good. That's friends, that's relationships, that's sometimes parents, that's sometimes is family, that's sometimes is, even pushing your own self out of the way. Stop self-sabotaging. Don't self-sabotage. Once you get all those negative things and you start speaking positively and you start speaking the words that you feel that's for you, giving yourself the love that you need, you'll start making it to any place that you want to go to.
Boom. Oh my gosh. That's the cowbell right there. We got the cowbell. That's when you did. No, that was awesome. I love it. So listen, champions, before we go, Tabyana, because they're going to want to know, how do they find you? How do they follow you? What are your social media handles? Do you have any websites? How do people connect with you? How do they follow you? Because I noticed your Instagram, it's not there yet, but it's going to be there real quick. So how do they find you?
So my Instagram is Tabyana, TABYANA _Ali, ALI. My Twitter is I am Ali Ford, and Snapchat is Tabyana Ali 20. That's everything.
Awesome. All right. And if anybody's looking for you for projects, they can get with your manager, Karen, because it's out there and they can find you there. But I'll put the links in the podcast. So with that said, champions, we are grateful. Tabyana, Anita, Jacqueline, Morgan, Chloe was here, Karen. We're grateful for you spending some time with you. I know this was amazing. I never do podcasts this long, but it didn't. I just looked at the clock and I was like, really? It went by so fast and it was worth every minute of. We appreciate you. Remember, my single moms out there, where you at? Because remember, you're important, you matter, and you can do whatever you want to. I will believe in you till you believe in yourself. I got you because God's got me. We appreciate you. Please like, comment, and share on this podcast. You can watch it on YouTube. If you're looking for some tips to help you on your journey for success, you can stop by my website at www.raelandrews.com. So with that said, we're out of there. Make the rest of the day the best of the day. God bless. Boom.
Thank you for listening. We hope our podcast helps you in your journey to walk in your power and create generational wealth. If you liked the show, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and leave a rating. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Real Andrews. Looking for more tips, tools, and nuggets to help you on your journey? Stop by our website, www.realandrews.com. Until next time, remember, take action. You matter. You are important, and you can do whatever you want to do.